Could the fact that we have nobody left on the team have anything to do with why things are not getting done rather than I'm dropping the ball and that's clearly the logical explanation?
Normalize leaving toxic work environments. People do not leave jobs, people leave bad management. You are so replaceable to these companies. They will replace you in an instant at any time, make them just as replaceable to you. So I was working at a job where I had the most toxic, micromanaging, passive-aggressive boss I have ever had in my entire life. She was so bad that between resignations and her firing people, she forced out our entire team. So our normal fully staffed team is about 6 to 7 people, and we were down to just me and her and no one else. So I was trying to do the work of 6 or 7 people completely on my own. So despite the extra workload I had taken on, she was still constantly telling me that I wasn't doing enough and I needed to step up more. And one day she said we needed to schedule a call to discuss my work performance. Well, what she didn't know is that I was planning on quitting anyways because my social media earnings had surpassed my earnings from that job. So I decided to go ahead and do the call with her. Let's see how it went.
Thanks for meeting with me.
Yeah, no problem.
Just needed to do a little check-in. Okay, so I noticed that you're taking a lot of time off.
Okay, what do you mean by taking a lot of time off?
Well, I noticed like Wednesday afternoon you weren't working.
Okay, I don't know if I agree with that because I'm very much logged in and working all day, every day. I actually haven't taken any time off since I went to London last September, so there definitely hasn't been a lot of time off on my end.
Okay, so definition of working also isn't answering Slacks on your phone.
Yes, certainly. I do answer a lot of Slacks and emails before the workday starts at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Or after the workday, long after the workday ends, up to as late as 10, 11 at night, sometimes midnight. I'm not doing that instead of working. I'm doing that in addition to working, so.
So our work life is very, very on the computer. So I'm just curious what it was you were working on that was getting in the way of like the main activities.
I mean, I'm running 8 payrolls a month by myself. So between pulling final reports, pulling initial reports for payroll processing, loading EIBs, doing the OSV funding, doing the pre-release reports, keeping on top of termination, severance, running everything entirely by myself. It's a lot.
Things aren't getting done as quickly as they need to be.
Could the fact that we have nobody left on the team have anything to do with why things are not getting done rather than I'm dropping the ball and that's clearly the logical explanation?
So like Wednesday afternoon, I kind of expected the OSV report, maybe the follow-up on the leave of absence spreadsheet, the recalcs that the benefit team needs. It just feels like you're just not working.
Is it that I'm not working, or is it that I'm taking on the workload of the entire team by myself and that's why things are not getting done? And so when I'm taking on that much, absolutely things are going to fall through the cracks. I will openly admit that. Absolutely. I need help.
Yeah, but it's noticeable when you take time off, though.
I'm sure it is, yes. When there's nobody left on the team, yes, I'm sure it would be very noticeable if I take a few hours off in the afternoon. Yes, I'm sure that would be very noticeable. You're right.
It is really. And I try to give a lot of leeway for you to manage your own schedule, but then I just see things not getting done.
Yeah, and you say that I'm not working enough or not logged in enough or that I'm missing deadlines. My job on a fully staffed team is to do every other pay run and not every single pay run. So I'm not missing deadlines because the deadlines that are being missed are not mine. Okay, these are just things that I've been stepping up and taking on additional responsibility while also being expected to step in and help the international team on top of that. So
I just know things could be just getting done quicker. And I think it feels like you're trying to work part-time when this is a full-time role.
No, while I've been taking on the workload of the entire team by myself, I've been working from 6 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. regularly. But I definitely don't define that as part-time work. And if there are days where I have to take a couple hours off in the afternoon, that's probably because I spent the previous day working 15 or 16 hours and I need a couple hours to get things done that didn't get done while I was working all the extra time. If I work 15, 16-hour days, 3 days a week, and then the next day I work maybe 6 hours instead of 8 hours, I don't define that as part-time, certainly.
Just have to address it because I really feel that way.
I mean, from my end, I feel that I've been taking on my workload as well as while she's on leave with, no acknowledgement, no thanks for the extra work that I've been putting in, for the extra hours that I've been spending doing that. It's not even that I don't get any acknowledgement or thanks. It's that on top of that, I'm being told that I'm still not doing enough, even though I'm taking on the workload of 2 people.
Yeah, so I'll address that. This really, really is a full-time job. It's not part-time. And I know how long things take because I've done this for a long time.
The position that I'm in right now, I mean, I've been very transparent from day one that I do have a second job that is quite a full-time commitment.
Oh, is that your TikTok job?
I run 4 platforms. It's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And So
I didn't realize that was a full-time commitment.
Oh yes, very full-time commitment, yes. Well, I mean, on top of that, with my mom passing away, there's also been the managing my mom's estate. With the monetizing of my fourth platform, my social media earnings are actually starting to surpass what I make. And then there's also the large inheritance payout that's coming in March. And so I'm not in a position where I have to stay, and I certainly don't want to cause any hindrance to the team. Like, I'm here to help because I know that there's no one left. If it's gotten to a point where it's causing the team a hindrance rather than helping, that's not what I want. And so, I mean, it's really up to whatever you'd like to do. I'm happy to stay and help, or I cannot, like whatever you think is best for the team.
Yeah, I really do need somebody here like full time. And I know if you have like your other job, for example, but I do need to know that someone's here like all day long, and that's just kind of what I expect. I guess maybe I thought the other platforms were more part-time, but yeah, it really is affecting the team, I think, because we just really need someone there all day.
Right, you want somebody who has no life and no commitments outside of this company, which I totally understand that desire, but it's not fair to ask or demand your employees to have no life and no other commitments outside of work. And I think that you'll have a really hard time finding that when you're looking to hire my replacement. So
where do we go from here?
I mean, it's totally up to you. Like I said, I'm happy to stay and help. Or if you think that won't be helpful, then I could not. It's totally up to you. Like, more than happy to stay and help, because I know that there's no one left. So I don't want to leave you in a position where you're doing everything by yourself.
It is a little stressful. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I totally understand that you must be under a lot of stress as well, where there's nobody left on the team.
Yeah.
And I certainly empathize with that. And that's also why I've tried to take on the extra workload without complaint. It's just that this is exactly why you are the team lead and not me. I never wanted to be a team lead for this exact reason, because I don't want the extra work and responsibility where I already have a second full-time job. So when things become a dumpster fire, it is the responsibility of the team lead to step up and take on the extra responsibility, and not me.
I gotcha.
So I'm happy to throw buckets of water on the dumpster fire, but I'm not going to get in the dumpster, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would love it if you stayed until you came back.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think that all of the extra work that was going to be placed on me while was out on leave was not considered at all. Nor did I have more than just a few days warning that she was even leaving in the first place, which when someone goes out on leave, I know we have a lot more warning than just a few days. And so I feel like that information was probably purposely withheld from me, because you knew that my reaction wouldn't be happy about being told that I'm now going to take on the work of multiple people by myself for the next several months.
We really like you here, and your work is really great. We just need somebody a little bit more.
I know that you fired somebody else for that same reason, and it's like, what level of engagement is ever going to be enough? It just feels like it's a lot of demand. You know, left and you fired the person on the international team because you figured that no help is better than some help. Even if we hired a temp where it was like, even if they can't fully do this job, but all they know how to do is download reports and save reports, that still would have been really helpful. And having someone here on the international team, even if he's not going to stay long term, some help would have been better than no help. And so I think it's just a combination of factors that have put us in a really bad position where we are now with no help. And it's like, and I feel like I've stepped up quite a lot. Rather than receiving any kind of acknowledgement for that, I'm just continually told that I'm still not stepping up enough. If doing the job of 2 people is still not enough, like, I have nothing more to give. Like, I can't. And I'm not in a place where I want to just constantly feel, put down or feel that I'm not doing enough when I have so many other great things going on in my life that I really want to be able to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think the combination of you having 2 jobs is the main thing. But yeah, I do appreciate the feedback. I really do. We're looking at ways to improve the workload. We just really are looking for commitment. That's all.
I just need to point out that with my departure, the entire team is now gone. And there's a reason that our entire team is gone, between people leaving on their own accord and between you firing people and now with me leaving. I think that at some point you really do have to say, as a leader, what have I done to cause my entire team to depart?
Yeah,
and so that's just kind of something I would leave you with to think about for the future.
Well, yeah, I appreciate your feedback a lot. All right, thank you for meeting with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh, that felt so good. Oh, it feels so good to finally be free. Normalize leaving toxic work environments. If you have poor management, normalize telling them why they're poor management and exactly what they're doing wrong, because this is the only way that we can enact change. The only way people can know when they're doing something wrong is if they're told why and told exactly what they're doing that is causing their team to not succeed. Oh, this felt so good. I am so excited to finally be free. Oh.